Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel dedicated to showcasing variant Sudoku and the fun that can be had in this hobby. So today I'm bringing you the final puzzle in this set of Sudoku U series, and this is the one created by the lecturers themselves, FullDeck and Missing a few cards. So this is the teacher's notes puzzles. So the Sudoku U series are of course puzzles that are created for or by in this case, the lecturers, but also the students of the Puzzles and Paradoxes class by FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. Other classes are also run, and some of those have been featured in this series as well, but this series is from that class. And this time we have FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards submitting the puzzle that they created with the class. Now, I don't know the full details of this, but it was submitted as part of it, so this is what I'm bringing to you. So this puzzle is called Creative Outlet, and with this puzzle I'm going to be showcasing the Thermometers and the Little Killer constraint. So Little Killer is one that often breaks my brain because of the way that the math can work, but I'm looking forward to giving this one a try. Is there anything else I want to go into? Of course, in the description below you'll find a link to the puzzle, you'll find details of how you can find more of the Sudoku U puzzles, and there'll be a link at the end cap to the playlist, or you can just go to my playlist section and there'll be a playlist for all of the Sudoku U puzzles that have ever been featured on the channel. With that, let's go through the rules so we can then attempt to solve Creative Outlet by FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. So, normal Sudoku rules. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We've then got thermometers. So on these thermometers, digits must strictly increase from the bulb to the tip. That means that this digit must be higher than this digit must be higher than this digit must be higher than this. It means this digit must be higher than this, even though by Sudoku, they could be the same digit. The Thermo doesn't allow them to be. We did a slow Thermo about a week ago. This is not one of those. This one, these digits can't be the same. This must be higher than this. Then we've got the Little Killer constraint. Clues outside the grid are the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal. Digits may repeat if allowed by other rules. So the 7 is saying that those two digits there sum to 7. The 15 is saying that those digits there sum to 15. Now, the interesting one is when you get a clue like this 20 clue, which is saying that those 4 digits there sum to 20. But it might be possible that both of those are 5. I mean, it's not, but it might, because of the Thermo. But by Little Killer, it would be possible for both of those to sum to 5 and then those to sum to 10. That would be possible by Little Killer. I am going to restart this puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Okay, this is where my bad math is going to cause me to fail, because these need to sum to 11, and they have to strictly increase. So how could you do 11? Now the maximum this could be is 8, but if this was an 8, those two digits there would have to sum to 3, which would have to be 1 and 2, which doesn't work. So this can't even be 8. If it was 7, those would have to sum to 4, which would need to be 1 and 3. That doesn't work either. Maximum this could be is 6, because if this was 1 and 3, then 3 and 1, because I can't do 2 and 2, this would have to be lower than 1. That doesn't work. If this is a 6, these could sum to 5. And if this is 5, actually, it starts getting more restricted, doesn't it? Because if this is lower, if this is 5, these need to sum to 6, which I could do with 2, 4. If this was a 4, these would need to sum to 7. This can't even be 4. If this was a 4, these would need to sum to 7 using 2 digits lower than 4, and that doesn't work. So it could be 6. And these would have to sum to 5, which would have to be 2 and 3, because I couldn't use 1, 4, because this has to be high. This has to be at least 2. If this is a 5, these have to sum to 6. Well, I can't use 1, 5. 3, 3 doesn't work, so this would have to be 2, 4, and this is always a 2. That's kind of fascinating. Therefore, this is always a 1. That's really kind of fascinating. This now has to sum to 8. Now, it could be 1, 7 with a 1 there and a 7 there. It can't be 2, 6. Can it be 3, 5? Because if this is a 6, this is a 3. Yeah, if this is a 6, these have to sum to 5. No, if this is a 6, these have to sum... Hang on, have I got this wrong? I've got this wrong. If this is a 6, Yeah, these had to sum to 5. If this is a 6, this is 2, 3. And this therefore couldn't be 3, 5. And if this is a 5, this is 2, 4. And this couldn't be 3, 5. This is 7 and 1. This can never be 3, 5 because there must be a 3 or a 5 on this run. So this is a minimum of 2. This is very strange. 1 is in one of those two because I have to do it by Sudoku and I can't put it here. So can I do the same trick down here? This 15 is also, this is 2, 3 or 4. Because if this was 5, the minimum this could be would be 5, 6, 7, and 5, 6, and 7 is 18, which doesn't work. Actually, that might have been the way to think about it. But 4, 5, 6 works. But the maximum this can be is 8. So 2, 3, 4. So the maximum this could be is 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4, 5, 6, 7. But this can never be a 4. This can never be a 4 because then this would be 4, 3, 2 and it would sum to 9. It can't even be a 5 because 5 would make it a maximum of 5, 4, 3 and 5, 4, 3 is only 12. This is 6, 7 or 8. Now could that be a 3? 2, 3? No, this can't be a 3. If this was a 3, the maximum those would be, it'd be 5 and that would need to be a 10. 4 here. The maximum these could be, it'd be 7 and that could be 8. This does work. But if this is 7, this would have to be 8 and I'm already there. That can't be a 7. So this, of course, this has to be a middle digit. The middle digit on a 3-cell 15 sum must be a middle digit. This has to be 4, 5 or 6. So this has to be 7, 8 or 9 and this has to be 2 or 3 because it has to be lower than 2, 3 or 4 and it can't be 1. This now has to sum to 7. I wonder if I could do some sort of twist on that one. Or do I look at this 20? Because the maximum here is 8. If this was a 6, if this is a 7, 7, 6, 5 doesn't get me there. If this was a 7, the maximum these could be would be 7, 6, and 5. And 7, 6, and 5 is only 18. This can't be a 7. This has to be an 8. So this has to be a 9. Now these have to sum to 12. Because 7, 6, 5, the maximum they could be if that's a 7 is only 18. So this has to be an 8. That's probably the better way of thinking of this. This is the thing when I'm solving puzzles on camera. I'm having to try and think about better ways of exploring the logic. These have to sum to 12. Well, I can't use 9, and this is a maximum of 7. So it's either 5, 7. It has to be 5, 7 because I can't do 6, 6. So if I did 6, this would have to be 6. This has to be 7 and 5. The 5 looks like making this the 6. These sum to 11 and I've got 8. So that's the 3. This is 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, 9 is in one of those. I don't think that's it. 7 is in one of those 3. How does this 7 work? It can't be 1, 6 because I can't put 1 or 6 in here. If it's 2, 5, what does that do for this? The minimum here would be 3. If this is 2, 5, this would be a low digit that isn't 2. Okay, so here's an important thing about a 3-cell 15 sum. It's either 4, 5, 6, or this is 2 or 3, because if this is 4, this immediately becomes 5, 6, because these need to sum to 11. And if I did 6 here, I'd be breaking the total. So if this is either a low digit or this is a 4, 5, 6. So if I did 2, 5 here, because this couldn't be a 5, So I couldn't go 4, 5, 6. This would have to be 3. And if I did 3, 6, I'm not sure. This would be 3. 3, 6 would go, 3, 6 is 9 and would need another 6. That doesn't work. This would be 3, 4, 8. So if this is 2, 5, this is 3, 4, 8. The other option is 3, 4, which would make this 2, which, oh, this can't be 2. Right, this can't be 1, 6 or 3, 4 because this can't be a 2 because that can't be a 1. This is 2, 5, which means there's no 5 here, which means this can't be 4, 5, 6. This can't be 4, 6 because if this is 4, 6, that would need to be a 5, which is lower than 6. That is 3. Now, if this is 3, 6, I'm at 9, and that would also need to be 6. That is 3, 4. 3, 4 sums to 7. I need another 8, which makes that a 9. That's so clever. This is a 2, which makes that the 5 and that the 2. This is very neat. 1 is in one of those. Not sure. 8 in this box, however, can be placed because the 8 looks over saying not there. This 8 looks up saying not there. The only place is there. This is a triple. 4, 5, and 9. There's no 5 there. 5 is in one of those two. There's no 9 there. That's the 4. So this is a 5, 9 pair. And the 5 is looking up, making that the 9 and that the 5. This is becoming more restricted. This is a triple. 3, 5, 6. There's no 5 in either of those. That's the 5. This is a 3, 6 pair. So this is becoming even more restricted. 2, 4, 6, 8 is all these can be. Because they can't be 1, they can't be 3, they can't be 5, they can't be 7, and they can't be 9. So they can't be any of the odd digits. So this can't be an 8 because this would need to be higher. This can't be 2. This needs to be lower. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 4 because it has to be lower than that and it can't be 5. It can't be 1 or 3. So this is fully even. This is fully even. Those are all the even digits. Where do I put 9 in this column? The 9 goes there. So these are 1, 2, and 4. Interesting. 2, 4, this can't be a 2 because that can't be a 1. That can't be a 4. That's very strange. This 26 is possibly important now because I've already got at least 15 there. Because the minimum here is 9 and 6, which is 15. If this was 17, if this was 9, 8, these digits here would have to sum 26 minus 17 is 9. That might be possible, you know. Well, I've already got 2. So if this was, those would be 19 and those digits would have to sum to 7. But I've got 2. I can't use a 1 here, but I could use a 2. And then those would have to sum to 5. I think I could use 1, 4. So I'm not sure about that. I don't think I can stop that being an 8 yet. I know there's, well, this is 7, 8, 9 to be larger than 6. In fact, all of these are 7, 8, 9. That becomes the 7 because of the 8, 9 in the column. And this is an 8, 9 pair. What are these? 1, 5, 6, and 9. There's no 5 there. Yeah, these are 1, 6, 9 for the box. This can't be a 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. No, this can't be a 6. If this is a 6, this goes 6, 7, 8, 9, and I've got 2 9s in the row. This is the 1. This is a 6, 9. The 9 is looking across, making that the 6 and that the 9. So this is 1, 5, 6. So these are 3, 4, and 7. But the 1 and the 9 on these thermos is a little unrestrictive. 1 is in one of those. 9 is in one of those. Okay, I need to do more math somewhere. Damn it. Okay. Minimum here is 5. Can I do that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Maybe. In fact, the maximum here is 6. So the maximum here is 5, the maximum here is 4, the maximum here is 3, and the maximum here is 2, because I can't use 7, 8, 9 here. So this is, the maximum here is 1, because that can't be a 2. So this can't be a 3, and the maximum is 3, so this is a 2, which takes 1 and 2 out of there. But this is 3 or 4, and it can't be 4, this is 3. This is now 4 or 5, and this is 5 or 6. But there's a 1 on this 20. That's now interesting. Those digits have to sum to 19. If this is a 5, those have to sum to 14. I could use 9, 5. I could use 8, 6. If this is a 6, these need to sum to 13. That seems to work as well, doesn't it? One in this box is not in any of those cells and not at the end of a thermo. That's the 1. So that's not the 1, that's the 1. 4 and 5. 3 is here by Sudoku, because I can't put 3 in any of those, and that's a 5 or a 6. That's a 3. Which in this box put 3 in one of those two. This now could still be 7. 1 is in one of these two now. Right, this is a 1, because 1 can't be in those, 1 can't be in those, 1 can't be partway along a thermo, and the 1 in box 4 sees that cell. That's the 1, not there. 9, right, 9 by Sudoku is in one of those 3, but I can't put 9 partway along a thermo. That's the 9, looking at making that the 8, making that the 9. Putting 9 in one of those 2. 9 in this box can't be in those, can't be in those, can't be there, and isn't a 3. That's the 9. That's not the 9. That's the 9. And I think I've done all the 9s now. That can literally be any digit. I think this thermo's here for symmetry. I could be wrong, but this is a triple. 2, 7, and 8. Well, that can't be a 2. So there's a 2 in one of those two. So this is 4, 5, or 6, because that's all that's missing in the column. Seven is in one of those two. Well, this has been pushed up to a maximum of 8 now, or maximum of 8, but 8, 7, 6 isn't really that restrictive. It's got to be, well, these sum to 10 now. So these have to sum to 10. So if that's a 5, that's a 5. If that's a 6, that's a 4. This is a 4, 5. So that's a 4, 5 pair. That becomes the 6, which makes that the 5, which makes that the 4. And these had to sum to 10. So that becomes the 5. That's very clever. That's a 7, 8 pair. I like that. That's a really nice resolution with that 20. This has to sum to 9. So that's the 8 and that's the 7. The 8 looks up taking the 8 out of both of those, and that is a 2, 7 pair. That's very nice. I like it. 4, 6, and 8 go into those. So have I done all the little killers now? No, I haven't done the 26. This is still looming over my head. The 3 is looking across, making this the 6 and this the 3. So this is a triple. 2, 4, 8. There's no 8 there. So the 2, 4 pair makes that the 8. But, oh no, this is the 4 And the 4 makes that the 2, that the 4, that the 2, which means this isn't a 2. This is 4, 6, 8. These are 2, 3, and 7. There's no 3 there. This has to be the 7 that hasn't been placed in the row. And these are 3, 5, and 6. There's no 1 in that cell because of the 1 looking up. And now I need to ask, where does 8 go in this column? Because 8 and 8, I can't put 8 in either of those cells, or I need something higher, and 9's not available. That is the 8, which means that's not the 8. That gives me a 4, 6 pair. So these are 1, 2, 3, 7. So this is 1 or 3, because it can't be 2 or 7. Yeah, these are doing something. I just can't quite wrap my head around it yet. It's very clever. Smarter than me. So this 7 is looking up saying that's not the 7. So 7 is in one of those two. 7 has to be on one of these thermos. It could be there. If it has to be in one of those two cells, because I can't put 7 here, or that would need to be 8, and it can't be. So 7 is in one of those two. Where's 1 in this box? 1 in this box has to be in one of those two cells. I can't put it on. Oh, no, that's not true. That is completely not true. I could put 1 there. 1 can absolutely go there. But where's 2? 2 has to be on this thermo. And it can't go that far along the thermo. So if this is the 2, this is the 1. If one of these is the 1, that's the 2. But that... This is 1, 2, 3, or 7, and it can't be 7. But I think it could be 1, 2, or 3. No, if this is 3, this would become 2. Because it's the only other place in the box it could be, and the thermo would be backwards. This is 1 or 2. I'm missing something. It's got to be the math on this. With these summing to 15. Sorry, these 4 cells, the 4 yellow cells have to sum to 15. Because I think I've done every other little killer. The yellow cells have to sum to 15. Can I make, if this is an 8, can I make those sum to 7? 1, 4, 3. No, this can't be a 4 because of the 4 looking up. That's a 3 or a 7. So how do I make, if this is an 8, to make, these would have to sum to 7. Now this couldn't be a 5 or a 6, or these would need to both be 1. So this would be a 1. Those would need to sum to 6. These would both be 3. Which would make that 3 and that 3. Okay, what happens if this is 6? Then these sum to 17, and these need to sum to 8. Well, this can never be 6 then. Right, if this has to sum to 6 or 8. And if it sums to 6, that's a 1. And if it sums to 8, this can't be 5 either, because the minimum here is 5. So this is a 1, which means this is a 3. Which means this is a 4. And now the yellow cells, because I've got 12, have to sum to 14. And the minimum there is 13, and that can't be a 1. That has to be a 3. Sorry, if this was a 7, the minimum here would be 13, and that can't be a 1. That has to be a 3. That has to be a 7. And now, because these cells sum to 15, those have to sum to 11. I can't do 2, 9. I could do 3, 8. I can't do 7, 5. This has to be 3 and 8. And we've got 17, 20, 26. That has to be the way it goes. Wow. I always find that logic really tricky. This can't be a 1. This can't be a 3. So we've got a 5, 6 pair. So what are we missing in this column? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are 1, 2, 7, and we know the order 1, 2, and 7 because they're on a thermo. The 2 makes that the 7, taking the 3 and the 7 makes that the 2, which looks across making that the 7 and that the 2. The 2 8s mean that's not an 8, so this is the 8. There's no 7 here. This is in fact a triple, 4, 5, and 6. This can't be the 4 because it has to be higher than that one. The 5, 6 pair actually makes that the 4, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 5, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 5, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 5, taking the 5 out of both of those. The 6 looks down, making that the 3 and that the 6. The 6 makes that the 4 and that the 6, and both of the 6s looking in make that the 4, and that is the correct solution to the puzzle. This sort of little killer deduction is the reason little killers exist, but I do find them tricky. 23 minutes. I'm actually pretty happy with that one. I know that there'll be a lot of people who knock this one out in 10, 12 minutes. First of all, they're not trying to explain it on camera. Second of all, they're probably better at this sort of math than I am. But I'm trying to do it in a way that when I explain it on camera, people can understand it. And in order to do that, I need to understand it myself. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Sudoku U series, and I'm not sure what comes next with anything in my life really, so it'll be fun to find out. Thanks everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.